Goryeo, so Korea, starts with a really decent amount of the content. They have 40 unique of their own events, which I'll be browsing over the game. They have 55 unique advances, out of which is plenty in country specific advances, Confucian related advances, and Eastern Buddhism advances. We also do have unique privileges like noble armies or petty bureaucracy, and even laws, buildings, and later unit types, etc. We'll be browsing that over the time. The only setting that is important for you to know is that I'm gonna test using the AI personalities to be random per ruler. Let's see how it's gonna affect the AI's gameplay. Goryeo is a really decent country to play as, and especially that has some rivers, obviously not as many as in Europe, but most importantly it has access to a lot of great goods. You see, we've got amber, we've got dyes, but most importantly we've got plenty of silver. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 mines, and we've got plenty of gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mines of the gold, which is gonna be extremely good long term, but problematic short term because I have no control over the locations down south, because of which, yes, I have a decent amount of the base tax, 90, but my wealth is so much higher. Remember, the wealth is impacting all of your costs. We have to fix that ASAP, but thankfully, even though it's a small nation, it does have 2.5 million population, which means we have even some starting cities. I will start with building the governors. We have one by default, and another one coming from the fact that we are a kingdom. First one I'll be planning in Jinju, because it is bordering the mines. And no, it's not a port, because look, that the other city over here has really bad harbor capacity, so it wouldn't be perfect. The second governor I will be planning to put in Sengyong, and it's because look how much population there's up north of Korea. It might sound crazy, but historically North Korea is the rich part of Korea. Make sure to check partner of this channel, so eneba.com, when you can find thousands of games on any platform, any system. It can be even a console. There are also a lot of gift cards, all at a much discounted price. Just look at some of these prices over here. Happy browsing. There's additional discount code in the video description that you can also leverage over the weekend to grab the games even cheaper. But yeah, day one I can't build shit because we have 0 roads in the goddamn country, like Korea did not invent any roads. Let's start with picking the laws, and here's the unique law I was mentioning to you that can give me additional cabinet seat. Since we want to play tall and not expand, at least very early on, outside of the Korean region, so it's just this 3 countries to clear, we will be using the cabinet members to develop our provinces a lot. Or actually not do that yet, there's more important stuff to do early on. And the second law is about the precious metals, where I'm actually thinking about the unlimited export, because the outputs are gonna be useful. But for now, let's just go for the regulated export. We might change it later on. Rivals doesn't really matter, so let's just rival the guys that I want to conquer later on, maybe some other hordes. We do have 2 government reforms day one. One is the 3 departments, that is a free government reform, makes the changing policy costs cheaper. And the second one, son-in-law rule, which is also a free guarantee form, that is increasing max tax for the nobles, great, but also gives them a lot of power, so that's not perfect. Let me go ahead and get additional ones in here, and I'm gonna go for the... Now too, since I don't want to expand as this Korea, do wants to go for the harbor administration? We are already towards naval, so I think we can just continue that. And that's gonna be another governor, which I will not be able to use, at least for now, as I'm not expanding. And the other guarantee form will give me the crown power. As for the estates, nothing for the nobility, they already have too much of a power. Same for the clergy, to be honest. Let's give some stuff to Jungin so I can tax them better and get stuff out of them. Building cost for sure is gonna be useful. Gold, silver, copper output, obviously. Progress towards naval, since we are going naval. And development growth. That's it for now, because otherwise the young man would get disloyal and rebel, etc. So pause giving more of privileges, but I'll give a few more later on. And finally, this guys, you go and make sure to fix the legitimacy. Now let's make sure that our ruler is on the navy, Wang, and another guy from our crown is on the army. So we maximize our crown power day one. Let's see, can we actually increase it? It is 11%. Let's make sure that we play with maximized tick speed. How much can we get? 11%. Up to 15%, and I'll be working on increasing that over time. These guys will go and make sure to patrol the seas. What type of ships do we have here? Useless, they're gonna not do much, but it's fine. Let's also delete the forts. We don't really need them because we don't plan to have wars. Keep a few of them, but not many. We will be just simply saving money and investing that money into more important buildings. Like the government buildings I should start with before I go to the roads to get the governors. Let me go ahead and get Royal Court for the crown power. Let's just spend the rest of the money on building the road, for which I have just enough. And then I'll have enough money saved to build a governor here. I doubt I'll have that much of money. And especially, actually I did not touch this yet. Let's go and make everything balanced. Let's spend maximum on the court, but stop spending on this too. And stop spending on Diplo, and not spend on the stability. The tax base actually is a bit better, but so is the wealth at the very start. Along with awaited opportunities, our dynamic historical event, and that would give me, that would get me into the war immediately. On this guys to fix the borders. Let's go. How much of an army I can get? 1.8 thousand. I guess I can get levies, but I don't have to get much. I just take the main stack, go kick their ass and immediately fix the borders. Actually, the other two guys are my rivals, so I should build spy network on them. Have to build it on Yuan to create the CBs and destroy. Obviously not many advances to be chosen here, but we have some of the ones that are unique for, you know, Asia Buddhism. So let's go on to this first. I don't need Diplo capacity, but institutional spread is gonna be useful. More burgers is useful. Yeah, all this. Let's just get everything, which doesn't really matter. And let's go and siege them down. I actually did not tell you much about all these buttons down here, because, you know, we are Buddhist, which gives me the karma. Mechanic is discipline, Diplo rep, but also all these buttons, like for example, I could get some legitimacy back for the cost of prestige, which I'm gonna do right now. And there are different schools that we are following. So Buddhism by default gives monthly literacy, monasteries, and tolerance of heretics. But then also each of the schools that we participate in have some laws that give additional bonuses. Monthly religious growth, prestige. That one is giving us also ammunition from battles, also prestige, and that one in here gives me another prestige. So my prestige is actually increasing crazy fast. We do have our own market, which is great, but you see it is lacking glass as well as fine cloth, which is fine. I can get both by getting buildings in my capital, and it's actually gonna bring me a lot of money. Just look at it. Actually, I could get to another location as well. So our own market and having a lack of the goods, it is gonna be great to boost that base tax, especially in the capital. We're gonna get this 18 much higher fast. And actually I should grant it Urban Light, which is one of the new features in this patch. Staple port, yes, it's gonna give more burgers power in this location, but maritime presence and most importantly harbor capacity is what I need. I will be slowly building the road towards Jinju, but on the way I'll be looking which locations needed the most. I should go for the silver mine, for example, before I go farther. It's in rice, then I should go for the gold, silk, pepper, gold, Jinju. With max legitimacy, I'm gonna start using that guy to develop, and that's what we'll be doing a lot in that campaign. Let's start developing our capital locations where there's two cities. We'll be obviously urbanizing that much more, but first spending goes to the governors. A lot of the money that we are getting is coming from, as you see, payments. It's actually the tribute system, the Middle Kingdom paying us to stay loyal. That's 34 a month. And here's the Middle Kingdom international organization that we participate. We could strengthen the ministry. All other actions are on the Emperor of Yuan. You see that has one governor. There's 71 of authority, that is right now dropping. And there's 0 power of eunuchs. We'll be observing with great interest of what happens there. With this road done, let's get the governor. This is gonna be a great improvement to our proximity. Like was the 3rd cabinet member, also gonna work hard on developing. This province doesn't, well, it's actually just one city I have in this province. This province is useless, there's no urban locations. I'm really gonna go and develop the province of my governor. Oh no guys, we've got a hunting accident. That's unfortunate. I know, having some roads already. You see how it changed our proximity? I just built a few pieces of road. That silver mine especially gonna benefit from that. But obviously I did not improve the RGOs at all. First the governors have to be done. Unfortunately the only CBs I can get on this two are Humil Tribal. Useless. So how about... we don't get a CP from this yet. I first have the internal stuff to be done. Instead, let's see if there are any laws I can start changing. And this is not gonna be that helpful because I already built all the roads I needed to connect the cities. I mean, they are on the way being built. So instead, let's see the law changes. The Royal Court Customs, I could go for the itinerary court, but I think what is gonna be more useful is the distribution of power and making sure we've got favor the ruler for 33% crown power. By the way, the governor is now done here, and that's, I believe, the updated proximity map. Not bad, not bad. I'm really waiting for the Jinju now. The Mongol rule, we can decide how do we treat the Mongols. I think we're going to break free. Just gonna give me events as long as the young monks are ruling. I'll be able to remove all the characters from the noble estates, from that Mongolian dynasty, and I'll be able to get rid of that guarantee form in here, which is good and bad, because that maximum tax is useful, but remember that power is also decreasing their maximum tax. Look, with 39 power they have minus 14% of maximum tax, so it might be actually really worth to get rid of it. The North reconquered, magnificent. So I can get all these locations as cores. Oh yeah, they started as non-cores, so that's useful. We have to reconquer the rest of the north now. Let's actually review what other events we can get in H1. Oh, for this event I'll be able to remove that guarantee form. But I have to get rid of all the characters and break free. This one is the other stance to be friendly. Oh, and I could banish them. But look, banishing a character takes 20 stability. I'm hoping for them to just die off. You see, I can be at 3 sects at the same time. So if I wanted to join a new one, I would have to leave one of these 3. And I'm really curious how the other sects are working. It's too bad there's just not... Oh, yeah, you can actually find it. What the specific sect is giving. This seems useless. I have to look through anything interesting. And you see, Confucianism is giving what I'm looking for tall gameplay. Some monthly development. So you know what? Let's leave the most useless of these 3 sects. And I think that's this one, Musok. Let's leave it. I actually did not even get any negative stability from it. I thought I would lose stability. And let's join Confucianism instead. Kadam is also quite cool, because it gives max literacy. Let's see, do I even have that on my list? Promote sect. No, I don't see it. And with just these few extra buildings, the base tax in Zlewikk is already up to 27. And since we are playing tall, there's only one choice for the focuses. Admin will use max literacy, expected cost of the court, proximity speed, stop investment. Oh, we stopped getting money from Yuan. Hey!
No! God, please, no! No!
It's because you don't like me? We'll have positive opinion of each other. Maybe it was that choice that I made. But hey, maybe it's because I'm disloyal. I think that might be the case, but I will improve relations just to double check. There should be something always in the queue in your capital to build in, because that's where most of the money will be coming from thanks to the max control. Also in my case, highest development, so I'm just going by the highest profits, just to have a bit of a queue. And I'll be also doing the same my secondary capital with the governor in here. I'll have the righteousness right now as well because we are Confucian. It gives 5% satisfaction for the estates, that's great, but also monthly control, which I really need to now, increase all that control of the improvements we are making. Because I have so much silver in the country, it's so cheap. The Giveral's Guild, just like in my recent Serbia campaign, is gonna be extremely profitable because the input good, silver, but also gems, because I have gems, are very cheap, and then the jewelry that I'm producing is expensive, and ideally we should be able to also export it to, besides earning, from the building profits, to also earn from the trading, which I'm already a bit doing, but it's mostly like gold and pepper. That's my proximity with the governor down south done. Most important goal is to get higher control my gold mines in here, which will happen. Right now I will be focusing on buildings in my capital, in my governors, and the RGOs. Since the governor and capital have the queue, right now I'm just gonna go ahead and start investing on the RGOs. I should actually see, because these guys could expand RGOs. That decreases noble satisfaction, which is actually important. I want to tax these guys as much as possible, and the nobles have rights to expand RGO anyway, so that's fine. Look, my food stockpile. And monthly balance in the food is currently 2137. I should keep it like that. The next law I'm gonna update is the mentioned itinerant court. For the proximity speed through land, most importantly. On the other hand, I would like to go centralized. That 5% might be not that impactful. How about we actually look for things to get us more centralized? Maybe not centralized, but this mining law is gonna give me the capital economy progress, which I'll be able to then combine with employment system. So actually quite early, or maybe too early, start going towards capital economy. Why am I being sieged by a Jinzu horde? What the hell is this? And this way we already easily at 200 of base tax, and that's while see the control is still increasing everywhere, so we're not done yet. In Age of Renaissance I'm gonna prioritize the city rights, especially that next to it I've got stuff like monthly usage progress, max literacy for the nobles. It's actually not that crazy, but that's definitely useful. Also production efficiency is not so far away. Overall max literacies, this is what I'm gonna prioritize a little bit. There's under research progress here, there's monthly literacy in here. Oh, full back. Proximity speed first. And more literacy and efficiency. Then the monthly usage progress. This is already at 1.5. And you see this is also quite good, not as good as China. I did not start building any cultural buildings yet. We'll get there. First, we need to get rich. 5 maps that we're about to ship over the weekend. The first one is a blueprint map of your hometown. You can print pretty much whatever you want. That's also small size, just in case you are wondering what that size is looking like. You all know that one. 1444 start date of EU4. This is a map of interwar Poland with elements of nature, so you know, żubry, etc. This map was created in the 19th century as a celebration of 200 years of the Battle of Vienna. So in the Wind Hussars, and so you see that's Poland under the rule of Jan III Sobieski, with a lot of great elements like the main Szlachta, but also crests of the elective kings. This is a shape that should also recognize, because that's Poland in the 15th century, so we see the starting years of EU4. Oh, not another hunting accident. That means I still have one more child. But that's a daughter. Who is our heir in that situation? She is. Anyway, the next one. Not traditional economy. Let's go and deal with Halan. I might not be able to declare because... Seriously, I cannot declare wars on them as a subject. I thought that it works like in EU4 when tributaries can fight each other, but apparently it doesn't. A new learning noted. We're great! No! No, 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 no. God. Then... Japanese. I was actually thinking about, if you speak about islands, colonizing up north here. Well, why not? I just started to colonize for now. Oh, and they cost absolutely nothing. That's a bit OP, but I think I can just go and colonize it all at once. Maybe not everything, but most of it. I have money. And Black Death arrived to us, so let's immediately go ahead and segregate the infected, which gives us 15% disease resistance. And there go the Root Turban Rebellions, which gives us Liberty Desire. We could try declare independence. We leave all wars with or against Yuan. Okay, let's, with that declaration, let's wait for these guys to get weaker. I might just get a bit of standing army. Yeah, how about we build armored horsemen, a few stacks with that manpower, and then declare the independence. And now we are in the consort regency forever. At least she got much better stats than our previous ruler. Now that I invested a lot of into our GOs, into our cities, into infrastructure, next step is to invest into bioleaves and all the key goods like amber, dyes, silver, gems, gold. Oh, you're declared war on us by itself. This is just Yuan or all the subjects as well. They couldn't declare on me because we are in the same war. So they declared war on me, but we're not at war with them. Ah, so I have a sound as if they declared on me, but they declared on King of Tianwan. Over here. So it's like Tianwan declared on us. Yeah, we have to get independent ASAP. I think the Black Death was actually very soft on us. It was 500,000, which compared to our total population is peanuts. Since the Black Death is leaving, I could sponsor the mass forgiveness. How much it will cost is as monthly. 3 ducats for 12 stability is actually 3x a month, quite worth it. So we would have to wait for the Black Death to disappear from the world for this to be cancelled. Let's actually do that. It's gonna... And I can stop paying for stability here. And now since everyone is busy going against Tianwan, and I built some of the armies, armored horsemen is also on the way. It might be too early to do that, but I don't care. Let's declare the independence war. Let's get all the levies. Let's defend, see what we can do. That immediately made us a great power. Number 8. And the war goal here is to simply defend the capital. So they have to go for the mountains first. That's why I kept at least these forts. And now purposely not use a Mongolian general. It's gonna be the Korean general that's gonna protect our independence. Yeah, Yuan is certainly in trouble. Oh, and now I can declare on these guys. How much more of that capability I have? 2 years. Less than 2 years. So to have to either delete the levies to declare, Let's do that. It's fine. There's no one actually coming in here. Oh, come on. Let's remove the levies. Declare that war. What levies? Okay, yes. And let's regain this levies and siege them down. This is hell to fight. I need to take these locations ASAP to not fight it ever again. You know, mountains, non-passable terrains, especially during the like half of the year, not just winter. But yeah, I think I've killed pretty much all of their armies. I can now just split it and go siege what is required to be sieged. I don't think I'll be able to steal any money from Yuan, especially that they are dying, because just the independence cost me 60 of wars currency. Anything else, I can't do it. I can do this because this is what I'm enforcing, because I keep the war goal. Just do this. Yay, we are independent now. And let's handle the hordes. Look how China is looking. We've got Wu that controls majority of coastline, and we've got Chen that controls majority of inland. And I can bet Wu has more population. Let's look. Wu has 22 million. Chen has 33 million. Okay, slightly more, even though it has like 900 locations, and Wu has 300 locations. I got to advance for the fun town cost. Next step is to get Mason, glass, as well as lumber. Cheaper. We actually could probably just go for the lumberjacks. So then building the garden cities is gonna be much cheaper. And for the urban locations, I will focus first on locations around our capital, then around this governor, and locations that have a lot of population. Just like you see here, with 38,000, so I'll be able to create a city there later on. Or in here, we've got 41,000. It's rice, but we're fine with the food. This one has 24, but it's a silver, so no. This one with 44,000, this will be our goals. And then here it's gonna be even easier. The recipe for black powder. We invest a bit of money to get this boy in. And we'll get the gunpowder engines advance. Will it be unlocked? Firearms output, I don't do firearms yet. Plus research progress and a gunsmith. Okay, I will be doing firearms. Of course! Come in. Maybe just cancel one of the buy lists, don't take a loan. With decent amount of money saved, I can go and get the gravel road bonus, which I will invest into improving our road system, which is already really decent, having in mind how empty it was, but we need to make it better. And so you also see what I'm doing. I'm looking at the proximity map. I'm looking for locations where it have the red line, so they're not getting enough of proximity because there's no road. I'm also looking at the type of locations. I know this, for example, is supposed to be a town soon, and I'm looking most importantly at what is being produced in this location. So is it even worth it to build a road besides just coloring the map? It's time to start investing into Confucian schools, which gives me promotion speed flat, but also a local max literacy. And it can be done in every single urban location. It doesn't even cost that much of money. A lot of you probably know that, but in case you're wondering how do I choose where to put my towns, first of all, locations where I have a decent amount of proximity, so you know, close to capital, close to governors, and then on locations that have at least around 30,000 of population, because then they're eligible to become cities. Plus, it is more worth to keep low population locations stay a ruler, because rural locations have a bonus to the population growth, as you see over here. But then over time, when I start hitting the population capacity, it is more worth to become a town and city, because this increases the population capacity. About the population, I did not check, but we might actually be able to build some settlements, which are really good buildings. Look, they give 1% population growth. Since I like these guys, I'm at war with Yuan, and their high enthusiasm doesn't help. Let's see, one of the key parts of this impacting is the military balance. So I just started recruiting all my levies. Now let's take a look at them. How this is gonna change. So the balance should be reverted. How is it still that high? Oh yeah, now it's down to 5%. So they have 52% of enthusiasm. I think it used to be a bit more impactful. This is not there yet, but we'll be able to piece it out soon. And now that it dropped to just 13%, we have an advantage of the military balance. There it is. That's the end of my conquest, at least for early game. It's beautiful. Of course, we also colonize in the meantime. Cotton seed theft. I don't really want to go to traditional economy. There's just 5 on the other hand. And the output and labors on slaves is actually useful. By the way, we already have 430 base tax. You see, it is really close to wealth, and that's why I'm really making good money with this all good taxation. Now that I have insane production inside our market, the next step I think is to spam as many marketplaces as possible. Because look, I'm earning 20 from trade, while spending 1.7 ducat for the marketplace's maintenance. I'm pretty sure the percentages are not gonna be as good, but for more marketplaces I should definitely make a decent amount of money from income. Totally automating trade. I'm not micromanaging this stuff even in a toll campaign. Let's just go ahead and spam the hell out of the marketplaces. You see, now I'm up to 35 trade income while spending 8 ducats for marketplaces. So this is exactly what I told you, but it has another effect that's important here, because there's only a decent amount of the goods that my own society, my own pops will be able to consume. So, at one point the returns will be diminishing, the profit will be diminishing from my production internally, because it's just overproducing, the prices are dropping. That's why trade and exporting the goods are helping to boost my tax base, because it is impacting the equilibrium between how much I'm producing and how much there is a demand for the goods. But in the meantime, I've got formation of the Zhou, A, and Gwanghak. So I can get Gwanghak and the other Korean faction chosen, which could give me innovative and cabinet efficiency. That's great. Or Zhou E, style investment and traditionalist. Well, obviously we're going for the innovative. Fiscal feature of Goryeo. I also need to get the metal coinage policy for additional minting threshold. That's a dominant currency policy. Okay, barter economy would give me traditional, no, and print the Yechfa would give me capital economy and bank interest. Yeah, we're going towards the capital economy already, so let's boost it even further, and actually just boost it to the. Is it maximum? Give the month tick. Means the maximum can boost it into. Yeah, now we can actually switch it to boost us towards. Oh, now it's actually showing what I'm boosting, unless it's also always like that, but I didn't notice. Right now, we'll go and boost centralization. Now that I established urban locations more or less everywhere where I could with the decent amount of the population, I will not force myself to build more of them. I'll wait for the population to grow. There's so many in China, by the way. And instead, start saving money. You see how much of a balance I have. Start saving money to increase amount of the cities, because the city are just giving really a lot. Look, this is all bonuses that the city is giving. The possible blah 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 is also important, because these guys like burghers or clerics and nobles, they create the demand for the goods. All this is so much powerful for a city versus the tiny bonuses the town is giving. Actually, Ashikaga started colonizing, so we'll have a bit of a fight. They'll probably take the eastern part, I'm gonna take the western part. What I'm the most proud of is, all this money that I'm putting into our capital, it is returning. We already have 102 base tax in that location. And look how beautiful it is looking. Look how nice our army is. I'm looking at our trade. And while it's good to have one market, you know, for an ease of managing it, I really think I should create another one in the south. Just look. What's the market access in here? The market access is around 50% around here. So it is halving what I'm producing over here or profiting from. Yeah, we should save money and create a second market in Jinju. Exactly where I have my second governor. How much money would it cost us? 355, which means I can do it over a month tick. Let's see how much more money I'm gonna make with this. In this age, there's a unique reform called Korean Gunnery. Looks like I can take it right away, just for defense. I might build it. Let's see, Jinju, 578, 613 of base tax. And these are now my markets, as well as the market access. Just north is not too good, but I don't have much north yet. Of course, without institutions, I cannot get barracks to spread my maritime presence better, but at least I could get the Mediterranean galleys that have 0.12 of maritime presence spread. Traditional galleys have how much? 0.08, yeah. And I think I'm gonna just simply build a lot of this. The southern capital. So, this just down south from market would get out of development. I would lose development my own capital. Can't see it. No, I don't want to move my kid. So they wanted to move capital from locations 100 base tax. I think to over here, where you had decent amount, but it's still just 24. Let's make it the Granada town, by the way. If you wanted to find Great Wall that seems to be winning the China, well, we are decently prepared, you know, 20,000 levies, 1,000 of standing army, most importantly 700 base tax. Great Wu has 1,700 base tax, but that's even though we have 20 times more, less than 20 times more population than us. But most importantly, they have 800,000 potential levies. Let me start investing into the Korean barracks, especially that they also create demand for the goods. A critic of Buddhism, so I could leave the 2 schools. No. I think 1400 is a good moment to end. Oh! Japan situation already started. Where they're fighting right now. Daimyos actually are having their own lands. In the meantime, here in Korea, we've hit 840 of base tax. 1.3 thousand wealth. 250 of balance. I think this is a really nice and tall Korea that we achieved here. Look, this is already having 45 of development. It started with like around 30, I think 33, so be getting that to 100. Nicely urbanized and on the way to become a hegemon, maybe, in the next age. Next age is when the hegemon is arriving. I will not end the campaign here. Obviously there's a new patch coming in next week, but what my goal for that campaign is continue playing tall until we hit a moment where I can go and beat China and just beat the shit out of them, showing the dominance, maybe even do the same with Japan. But this will be the, obviously, I kind of expect 2 directions of my expansion with Korea, but I will first keep playing tall for 50, 100 years. We'll see how the dynamic of the campaign goes. If you want to see it, make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notified of the part 2. And obviously remember to do check our strategy maps.co store when there's more over 150 maps to choose from.